The best Yu-Gi-Oh! Rogue decks! I gotta say, I was wrong. I was wrong about a few things, and I'm actually really happy because it changes so much. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the best rogue decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, giving you important information for my Rogue Kings to be able to take down the best of the best. Come on, guys, everybody loves Rogue, and I may or may not be talking about the X-Men character. In this Rogue tier list, I have 5 different categories, which are pretty much self-explanatory, but a quick breakdown. Top Rogue, best the best. Solid choice. I mean, these are not bad, my guy. Good enough to steal W's. Like it's just V and X in the alphabet, nothing in between. Takes a really good pilot is when you gotta put on your big boy bets to win. And then, of course, there's everybody's favorite, a real challenge. It's kind of like you getting a girl's number. That's a real challenge. Come on, dog. It's been too long and you still ain't got her number, but I can see her getting your number if you a rogue connoisseur and you like and subscribe to this video. I mean, who knows? The ladies love me. It might rub off on you. All right, so what is the criteria? The requirements for this tier list? Simple. For the definition of rogue, I'm just gonna say underrepresented, but competitive in some sort. I'm sorry, big dog. Blue Eyes couldn't make it, but we might have a tier list where Blue Eyes could make it. These decks needed to have some type of success over the last few formats. 2, relevancy against the top guys. Of course, big dog, when picking a strategy, you want your Yu-Gi-Oh cards to be able to verse up against their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Right now, some of the most played cards are Book of Moon, Dark Ruler No More, Triple Tactics, Talent, and Hand Traps are they okay. Lastly, big dog, how well can you play against one of the most powerful decks in the game? Gashtira is going to be the benchmark. I mean, if you've seen the North American World Championship, then you know why it's the benchmark. The deck's stupid.
Dimension Shifter, oh I win! Eradicator, oh I win!
I'm not salty. I didn't lose to any Gashtira players at all. No, no. I didn't lose because I didn't go. You can't lose if you don't play. Big Brain Cali, I'm undefeated. The first strategy I want to talk to you guys about is Black Wings, and Black Wings is one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh decks, especially since it got new support from Battles of Legends Monsters Revenge. My brothers in Christ, that Shanga card? Holy, we be eating. Unfortunately, cards like Book of Moon and Dark Ruler No More are Black Wing's worst enemy. In case you didn't know, if you summon a Black Wing while Black Whirlwind is face up on the field and your opponent chains Book of Moon to your Black Whirlwind, you will not get the search. Black Whirlwind checks the attack stat on resolution. I think that Black Wing is still good enough to steal W's, and that's because Black Winged Assault Dragon is crazy good, and this deck can power him out as well as some powerful synchro monsters with ease. Plus, my guys, them bestials be bestialing. Next is Crystal Beast that also got support from the Battles of Legends set. I think we're waiting on Neshi to break the strategy. Guys, be sure to check out his channel if you can, as he has the Crystal Beast sauce at all times. But for right now, I'm gonna put this deck at takes a really good pilot. I think that Crystal Beast players are still trying to mesh the Conclave control as well as the Over Dragon into one cohesive build, and that's just gonna take a little bit more time and discovery. A good player will make up for this though very soon. Dino's a big dog. You know exactly where I'm putting my boys. I've been playing this deck for a couple of weeks, and I think it's good enough to steal W's and nothing better. The good thing about Dinos, breaking boards, easy.
Summoning huge monsters, easy. Misc effect, lemon squeezy.
Breaking. Well, yeah, there's that. I did play a budget build on my last locals vlog, which was extremely fun to do. Go ahead and check out that video. But I think Misc needs to be at 3 and Ash Blossom needs to be banned for Dinos to be reevaluated. Then there's Dino Morbia, arguably a slightly more consistent deck. The problem with Dino Morphia is Dino Morphia Rexstrom is a little bit too fair. I get it. It's a skill drain, but it's also a monster. Come on, guys, you know what we do to monsters these formats. They don't last that long. Dogmanica, a bunch of thugs, big dog. They gang over here. I gotta say that this is a deck that does take a really good pilot. On one side, ripping your opponent's entire extra deck is crazy. On the other side, ripping your opponent's entire extra deck can't be the only thing you do, right? Right? Damn it, it's the only thing you do. The problem with Dogmatica is that the new support came out just a little bit too late. Decks are a lot less reliant on the extra deck. I do like that this deck could use Floodgates like Gozen Match and Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because you know how fun those are. But if you really want to go to Floodgates, you probably could just play Exosister, which is right here. Exosisters, big dogs. You guys are also going to see this on the budget tier list. This deck, phenomenal. The crazy thing about Exosister, and I actually liked being wrong about it, is because I thought that this deck wasn't going to be too strong, but it actually proved me wrong. It's non-graveyard reliant, so the bestial monsters would only trigger their effects. Dimension Shifter does absolutely nothing. They're spellcasters, so you could run stuff like Secret Village of Spellcasters. They're also light spellcasters, so Gozen and Rivalry fit in this equation. Wait, yo, this is the Floodgate deck. Prayage to my stepsister. Stepbro is coming home very soon. I think Exosister is a very solid choice, and it actually did win the World Championship qualifier. It's a really decent deck. Gold Pride, my guys. This deck's like pizza. It just keeps topping. It gets better with its toppings. Pineapple 100% belongs on pizza, by the way. Gold Pride Punk is easily a top rogue Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Does not have the representation, unfortunately, but it definitely has strong showings at every single event that it has participated in, except for your locals. That didn't happen. Dark World, my boys. I'm gonna put this in takes a really good pilot. The best hand traps in the game: Droll, Ghost Spell. The best decks in the game: Shifter, Bestials. Save yourself the headache and don't play this deck right now. I will admit, takes a good pilot, but save yourself the headache and do not play this deck right now unless you are dedicated. Heroes, my boy, I rate them way too low on my last tier list, and I apologize. I have been shown the light. Elemental Hero Inferno rages on the foes. In favorite contact, Top G. This is a great Yu-Gi-Oh deck. That bombastic go second, break the board, be the hero, save the girl, and win the day is definitely here this format. And I love the new combos with heroes. My guy, they're starting to play Elemental Hero Neos in the deck and winning. It's crazy. This deck is crazy good. But I will say, you do need to learn how to play heroes. It's not a deck you can just pick up and win with. How that boy Spider-Man say, with great power comes Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer to destroy and revive itself. Yeah, that sounded about right. Uncle Ben said that. Earth Machine, boys. Chugga, 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 chugga. I just want to run trains on my opponent. Pause. Earth Machine, 100% that deck. That is a battle of attrition, guys. I would still say that it takes a really good pilot. We did say one Earth Machine player make a showing, but nothing since. I'm inclined to think that this is not a fluke, but I am inclined to think that it does take a good player. Manadium, my boys. When this deck get its new support, sauce. Talk to me in about 2 weeks when I do a better tier list with Manadium in it. Right now, though, holy God, this deck is... Look, I wish it were a budget deck because it would be a top budget deck. This deck is like... Holy God. I mean, I know it was a problem when you can summon a fusion monster by banishing cards from the graveyard, and it banishes your opponent's cards. What are we doing here? It's broken. So much potential for the deck. For the right now, I would say some of the top played cards like Dark Ruler No More and Book of Moon would have hurt it, but players are starting to evolve with the strategy and learn how to play around those interrupts. Marine Sus, boys. I do not like Book of Moon on your Marine Cess monsters with no extenders, but I do like the board breaking capability. Dark Ruler No More. As everybody knows, Dark Ruler No More best friend is Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, especially when there's no hand interrupts. Psych! Dark Ruler No More's best friend is World Sea Dragon Zealantis. And this deck does that thing with the Zealantis, you know, lock yourself in the waters and then banish your opponent's monsters. And since your opponent's monsters are more than likely not water, they ain't getting them back. On the flip side, I don't think Mathmech is the best Cyberse deck right now, and it's a couple of reasons. One Circle, Ash Blossom, Ghost Spells, Bestials, Dimension Shifter, Castira Rice Heart. Holy shit, damn, man, that sounds like a lot. Regardless, my friends, Access Code Talker still does win games, and it's a solid Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Mikange. I am 1000% holding out for this deck. I think you guys are sleeping on it. The crazy thing about Mikankos is that it can easily steal a W. Kaijus get over some of the most powerful cards in the game. Nobody's like prepared for Kaijus right now, and Mikanko plays a Kaiju engine very crazy like, especially since it can bounce those Kaijus back into the hand and use those Kaijus to OTK your opponent. Immediately, people don't even know what Mikankos do. It'll steal W's. Big Daddy Ninjas. There's a few things that are going for ninjas that people are not paying attention to. Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse are amazing right now. And ninjas flip monsters face down more than real estate agents during COVID. Oh my God, it's there. It takes a really good pilot. As a ninja connoisseur, Shadow Clone Jutsu gang over here, one thing I would have to say that troubles me with Ninja is consistency. Though I will say less hand traps, more Book of Moon, Ninja's really, really good right now. Plunder Patrol.
Monsieur, this is not a jackhammer, it is a Jacques hammer.
Oh. Plunder Patrol literally went from being the best runic variant to the rogue tier list. It is, in my opinion, probably the worst runic variant. The biggest problem with Plunder Patrol is that your Plunder Patrol monsters are easily outed by a simple Book of Moon or Dark Ruler no more. Like, it's tough sledding after that. And a pure or a Kaiju build, I think that the Kaiju build may do a little bit better strictly because monster destruction through Interrupted Slumber is really good and Kaijus are good, but I don't think it would be enough. I think we need a player that has the biggest brain to pilot them to success. Another thing that I absolutely love being wrong about is Pearly. Holy shit! The only cats in the world to have that dog in them. It's almost disrespectful to put it in Rogue, but representation-wise, it's Rogue, and it's one of the best decks that I've seen in a long time. Holy crap, Chad. We were watching this deck go second and OTK some of the best decks in the game. It was crazy. Not only is Pearly unaffected by cards like Dark Ruler no more, it always seems to have a contingency plan for cards like Book of Moon. The things that are really good against Pearly, like Kaijus, are not being played as much, and this deck is taking full advantage of it. Rescue Ace. I'm in danger. Yeah, this deck's a real challenge. Right now, Rescue Ace is down bad, but Duelist Nexus may just rescue the strategy, and it might be the ace deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! See what I did right there? Strikers, my boy. I gotta say, I was wrong about this one too. I had Sky Strikers really, really low, but after seeing them, I think that they are a solid Yu-Gi-Oh! Choice. My Sky Striker opinion seems to flip-flop more than LeBron James in the finals game. But if I could compare myself to the GOAT, I'm gonna take that chance. Sky Strikers are not purely, but they have a similar playstyle in the essence that they go second and use spell cards to break boards. That's huge. Just don't get Eradicator, ever. Super Heavy Samurai, the chunky boys. I'm not gonna lie, Super Heavy Samurai has been, it's been dead. Losing Super Heavy Samurai Scarecrow sucked. I'm gonna say that this deck is in a real challenge. I have seen other builds of Super Heavy Samurai, the Choky Boys, but unfortunately, the top cards being played right now are solid counters, and B, there's way too much work to make them competitively viable. Now, Tier Limit actually just so happened to have done really, really well at the World Championship. It topped. Master Duel players are just finishing their PTSD. We've already nostalgicized it. Nostalgicized isn't a word, but it's definitely what we did. Tier Limit is 1000% still strong enough to steal W's. Master Duel players, take note, when you lose Kid Kalos, the deck is still good. I mean, there is a big reason. There aren't a ton of negations or hand traps that would necessarily stop tier, and being able to toolbox fusion summon it's still ridiculous. Trap Tricks, my boy. You guys know exactly who you are. You Trap Tricks players. You dirty, you filthy, dirty, great pilots. Now, seriously, I think that your deck actually is good enough to steal W's in this current meta. Book of Moon does nothing to a Link monster. Dark Ruler No More does nothing to traps. Who would have guessed? Trap Tricks, in my opinion, are in a solid Yu-Gi-Oh! Spot where they're powerful enough to be able to compete, good enough to steal W's. Unfortunately, not that extra oomph that it would need to take it over the top, and it just did get support. Maybe just a little bit more. Them Trap Hole cards gonna bang soon. You guys already know, support coming for the deck. Tri Brigade. Pure Tri Brigade. All right, guys, put the coat down. Not working. Tri-Brigade Sprite, though, way better. The problem with Tri-Brigade Sprite is that, again, I would rather play almost every other Sprite variant. The Fur Hire variant is by far the best variant. Live Twin does more things and gives you more bang for your buck. Hell, even Gishki's top. Gishki Sprite top. I'm not saying that the Tri-Brigade variant is down bad, it's just that it's a little outdated and Ghostbell does stop Tri-Brigade Revolt. We've already talked about dinos, don't know why it's here, but I ain't talked about Vanquish, so easily the big Vanqui boys, top row. Again, representation-wise, it's a rogue Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but I did not talk about it last tier list, so I'm talking about it now. This deck is crazy! And with this deck taking a big brain and Pearly taking a big brain, I really hope that Konami doesn't forget about us small brain folks, us dino players that just want to turn our brain off and summon Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Don't forget about it. Seriously, don't forget about us. Oh, and how could I forget? I got two more decks to talk about. Sword Soul, Dama Mama, Hot Pajama, and Cyber Dragon. This deck, Bubble, I gotta talk about it. It was in the comment section too. Sword Soul is in a fairly interesting spot. On one side, Nibiru does not exist. It is not a real Yu-Gi-Oh card. If somebody plays Nibiru, you punch them in the face because it doesn't exist. It just doesn't. On the other hand, one of the biggest strengths of Sword Soul is hand interruptions and being able to draw into those hand interruptions. Hand interruptions aren't as powerful either. Cards like Book of Moon do target, and Sword Soul can easily avoid those cards with Heavenly Dragon Circle, and it can also play an abundance of board breaking and disruptive cards on its own. I still think as a rogue deck, it is a solid Yu-Gi-Oh choice. You cannot go wrong with Sword Soul, and if you're playing Sword Soul Iris, you winning. If you're playing the Big Daddy Shunjun, you take it a step further, but only Master Duel players know. By the way, guys, catch me streaming Master Duel Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And lastly is the big snake. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. Cyber Dragon's biggest accomplishment is that it bubbled at a world championship qualifier. That's no easy feat. On one hand, we haven't seen Cyber Dragon in who knows how long. On the other hand, that is a huge accomplishment. One thing that it does prove, though, is that Cyber Dragon does deserve to be on the rogue tier list, at least this time. Duality is powerful. I'm gonna say takes a really good pipe. You gotta admit, when the stakes are the highest, Cyber Dragon did show up and it almost got what it needed. Therefore, it would only be a logical conclusion to believe that a great Cyber Dragon player can do Cyber Dragon things. And that is all that I have for my rogue tier list. I'm really curious, did I get something a little bit too high? Did I play something a little bit too low? Or if there's a strategy that I'm missing, let me know. Please don't say blue eyes. 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 Of course, big dog, if you want to see more amazing content, you already know what to do. Be sure to check out these videos, and you know, I'll catch you on the next one.